Ladies and gentlemen, the economy continues to take a major pounding as long as COVID 19 is still here. So, this is USA Today, September 4th, 2020. Nathaniel Gee has been struggling to get on unemployment aid during the coronavirus pandemic, especially after going 5 weeks without the $600 weekly federal unemployment supplement. He, who lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was furloughed from his job as a school bus driver in March. He still hasn't been able to find full time work with schools during the virtual learning. He's worried about how he'll make ends meet with rent, groceries, and medication in the coming months if Congress doesn't pass another coronavirus relief package soon with extended job benefits. The maximum in Wisconsin is $370, which covers 40% of Gee's prior wages, he says. It's a huge income shock. So he's a 37-year-old. He also tested positive for coronavirus back in July and still feel the lingering effects for weeks. I'm wiped out financially. I'm living on shoestring budgets. About 833,352 Americans filed for the first time for unemployment insurance during the week ending August 29th. The Labor Department said Thursday that 7,591 rise from the prior week and slightly more than 825,000 expected by economists at JP Morgan. Those figures are based on non-seasonal adjusted figures. The number of people seeking unemployment came as part of the economy remained shuttered due to COVID 19 and millions out of work. People have gone more than a month without the additional $600 in jobless aid. Well, Mitch McConnell said you should just get $200. That data comes ahead of Friday's closely watched job report for August. The figures are expected to show that 1.4 million workers returned last month. This would leave 1 out of 2 laid off workers still unemployed. There's a lot of people unemployed. The unemployment rate is expected to fall to 9.7% from 10.2% in July. To be sure, the labor market has continued to show signs. There's some slight improvement, but nobody should be jumping for joy because they are still saying more layoffs are ahead. In fact, most of the economists are saying the layoffs will go on clearly into 2021. A trend of slow improvement is worrisome regarding recovery. The latest report adds a growing list of indicators pointing towards an overall plateau, and the road ahead still tough for the labor market. Okay, USA Today is using non-seasonal adjusted jobless claim numbers for the first time during the pandemic because starting with last week's figure, the Labor Department has switched to a different method to adjust the data to accounts for seasonal factors. The old method resulted in large seasonal adjustments that overstated the number of claims filed during the crisis. USA Today has chosen to use the non seasonal adjusted or actual claim numbers so that it can be better compared figures released Thursday and in the weeks ahead with previous totals. Keep in mind that non seasonal adjusted numbers will likely result in significantly lower claims than the seasonal adjusted figures, which have totaled about 1 million in recent weeks. but it does not reflect the actual change in the number of claims. So the combination of slow employment progress and poor public health conditions, along with the absence of another stimulus package with extended unemployment aid, threatens to jeopardize consumer spending, which it has, because I went to look and they said it is definitely less people spending out here now. And that's absolutely what you don't want during a recession, but that's going on now. And okay, so it can jeopardize consumer spending in the coming months, a vital part of US growth, since it accounts for more than two-thirds of economic activity. Any stagnation or backpedaling of unemployment claims, okay, this jumped a little, at such historic highs is severely troubling at this stage of recovery and will likely remain as recent natural disasters across the US compound with announced layoffs from several large employers. Jobless claims remained elevated as more than 25 million unemployed Americans have gone 5 weeks without the $600 weekly unemployment supplement. After coronavirus aid talks hit a stalemate in Congress, Trump called for a $300 a week federally funded jobless benefit for workers who are unemployed during the pandemic, which states acts to provide 1 week, for each week $100. Now, many states said they can't do it. Their budgets are really terrible because of COVID-19. They don't have the budgets that they normally would have. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will run the relief program through its disaster relief fund, but Americans may just get a few weeks' worth of payments, leaving millions without additional benefits again in just a matter of weeks. With Congress in recess until Labor Day, states applying for federal grants will get the initial obligation of 3 weeks if needed, according to a recent memo by the agency. States are working to reconfigure their systems and distribute $300 per week in federal aid to unemployed Americans. So far, there are 7 states only: Arizona, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, Tennessee, and Texas have paid lost wages assistance as of Wednesday, representing about 15% of all unemployed workers, according to the Century Foundation, a nonprofit think tank. About 32 other states haven't started payments yet, but but they have applied for grants through FEMA, and 11 states haven't been awarded grants yet. Now, I know in my state, y'all, they said people are not going to see that additional $300 until October. So they've already gone 5 weeks. So it's no telling how far into October before they see it. So it's a mess. You're talking about a good 10 weeks or even longer before people see even the $300 in additional benefits. No matter how you look at it, this is a big mess. And this should never have happened. What they should have done when they passed the CARES Act, it should have been ongoing until, there were signs of the pandemic going away and people reopening businesses so that folks could go back to work. It should never be like this. Oh, it's good only for a few months. We got to go back to the drawing board. And then that one's good for a few months. And then we got to go. That's stupid. That's stupid for real. That's stupid. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.